Episode 1 of It's All Mental. You are most welcome. My name is Asiat, and today we are going to talk about mental health, mental illnesses as well. But is a conversation about mental health worthy to you? Today we want to see all those things we think about mental health. Are they worth it? Is it really worth our concern? Well, I want to dissect into it more to understand what those myths that you're having behind you. Are they really correct or is it wrong? Well, what is mental health in the first place? We simply define mental health as a state of well-being. Like I've said, well-being, where a person is able to cope with the daily stresses of life. You are able to learn, you are able to realize your potential. You can be in position to contribute to your community. When I come into this conversation, what do I mean? You are able to cope with the daily stresses of life. Because be it to human nature, we all know that we are disturbed by various things happening. Today you are losing a job, the next time school fees is banging in, the next time it's something different. Your boss is calling you. What happens to you? Can you be able to cope with those stresses of life? When your boss calls you in the wee hours of the night, can you be able to know what to do next? When school fees is hanging on the way, you don't know what to do. You are trying to look for that money, but things are not working out. Can you be able to cope with that stress of life during that moment? And at that point, we are saying, also, you as an individual, can you be able to learn through the challenges of life? Can you be able to realize your abilities when you go to work? Vis-a-vis the struggles you're going through, can you be in position to produce? Can you be productive so you are able to realize your potential? And when you realize your potential, can you really be able to contribute to your community? Be it your school where you're teaching. Are you a teacher? Are you a policeman? You are on the road, but can you be able to support the community where you're working? So when we are talking about mental health as a whole, we are looking at you being able to cope with those normal stresses of life. Life still goes on vis-a-vis the challenges we have. You had a fight with a taxi conductor, but still life goes on. You go on with the daily struggles of life. You can be able to work well. You can be able to relate well. So that is mental health. Mental health mainly looks at the way we are thinking. What are you thinking really? The way we are feeling, what we are thinking about, how do we feel really? And how do we relate with other people around us? Are we so negative? Because when you are negative, trust me not, everything that you're going to do is going to be negative. That is the way we are going to act out. So that is mainly mental health. Individuals who are mentally healthy have good sense of confidence. They have good sense of self-esteem. They can be able to have a good well-being in terms of making friendships. When they look at other people achieving, they appreciate when other people are also making it in life. But someone who is not mentally healthy, we shall get there, can be someone who is they find it very difficult for them to make relationships work out. That's why we have said that we are coming with these conversations where we try to dissect into them. Why are my relationships not working out? Why am I not making friends? Could it be that mentally I am not healthy? So when we are talking about mental health, it's like physical health. The way you find yourself that you are thinking about, have I brushed my teeth? Have I combed my hair? Mental health, we have to take care of it as well. When you go and eat, when you go and sleep, when you do your daily activities, you are looking after your physical health. But when we are talking about mental health, that is probably talking about the emotional well-being. I'm talking about helping myself to emotionally be well. Mental health is all about the overall emotional, psychological, and social well-being of a person. Like I've said, for example, we are talking about hygiene. You go, you clean up yourself. It's the same way you take care of your mental health. Today, are you eating fine? Are you making relationships with people that are positive so that you find yourself that because of those relationships, people support you, you become mentally healthy. Remember, when we say mental health, we are talking about the brain. The same way you're talking about physical, be it your hands, your legs, every other part of your body, also your brain matters. So right now we are going to also talk about mental illnesses. Now this is where the myths come from. When we are talking about mental illness, we mean these are the mental problems that come in and significantly affect the way we think, the way we relate, and the way we feel. So meaning that when a person is affected in a way that they think, in the way they feel, in the way they behave, then that means that this person could be affected mentally, and that is where their mental illness comes from. So there are various mental illnesses that we all know. Probably you don't know, but I'm letting you know today. There is depression, there is anxiety, there is psychosis, schizophrenia. We are talking about substance abuse. I'm also bringing to you to know about post-traumatic stress disorder. All these are called mental illnesses. And now this is where the myth comes from. When people get to see that someone is behaving in a different way, because we have said mental illnesses affect how we think, how we relate, and we act. So therefore, with all this that happens, when it is affected, there is a certain way I start behaving. That's when this depression comes in. That is when this anxiety comes in. That is when we see times when people come and say, have you ever heard of a scenario when someone reaches out to you and they say, that person is mad? Well, that is a myth. Because that means that this person has a problem with the way they are acting. That is when we come and say, this person is throwing stones. They are mad. But it is a myth. This person is mentally ill, meaning that they just need support so that they can get better. When we are talking about the way people think about mental illness, it's so crazy how people say that people who are mentally ill, they are having witchcraft. They are either, it could be that their ancestral are coming in and they don't want them to get better. That's why they are acting the way they are acting, because they don't have words to put to this action. And that is why we are here, to demystify those actions or things that people see, but they don't know the words to use on those kinds of conditions. Therefore, mental illnesses are, I'm affected. I am not thinking right. I am not acting right. I'm feeling negatively. It could be that I'm either going through depression. But over the times, we have seen how people behave towards people who have mental illnesses. We run away from them. You're like, no. You know, this person, it may be hereditary. What if I get mad as well? What if I do this? Not knowing that these are illnesses that can also be treated. Like I have a cough, I go to the health center, they give me medication. It's the same way that someone who has a mental illness goes to a clinic, goes to a space where they can get help and they get support and get better. For example, we have here in Uganda, we have Botabika Hospital, where people go to get treatment. The health centers all over Uganda, Health Center 3, they have psychiatrists, people who are supposed to treat these conditions. What I'm calling upon each and every one of us, you, me, when we see such incidences where someone is acting out differently, they are not acting in the normal way that we believe an individual should act out. You either talk to them. I'm calling upon you to inquire what could be going on with this person. When you talk to them, is there a conversation coordinating? If it's not, there are hospitals where we can refer them. There are organizations that are carrying on mental health services free of charge, or others are paid for. There are rehab centers where we can send these people to get this support. The same way we go when I have malaria, I go to a health center, I get medication. Even with these mental illnesses, there are treatment services. in terms of psychosocial services, where we're just talking to you, because some of them are either long-term or short-term. Therefore, I'm calling upon each and every one of us in such instances. Is it you who is feeling like this? Do you have depression? Are you sad? Is it extreme? Are you having those delusions? We shall get into all that. But if you're having some of those illnesses that I've mentioned, they are all treatable, and it's okay for you to feel the way you're feeling, but just not for you to think that something is wrong with you. No, nothing is wrong with you. It's just that you are mentally ill, and you can be able to get support when you seek for it. There is another category of people that I would love to talk to today. You who is there, who is having this brother of yours, your mother, your sibling, your friend, who is struggling with these mental illnesses, you could be also affected in one way or another, because you are struggling with someone who you don't even know what is happening to them. I am talking to you right now. I am calling upon you, first of all, if you are not understanding what is happening with them, kindly seek support from people who know about these mental health illnesses, the therapists, the counselors, the psychologists, the psychiatrists, among the many people who are in this field. And also, sometimes we get secondary trauma. For example, I find myself that the person who I'm seated next to, whom I relate with on a daily, the things that they are doing, in a way, they are also affecting me. And I may find myself also getting these mental illnesses. For example, I may get anxiety, because I'm always on the edge. I don't know what is going to happen to them. I'm calling upon you to also seek for help in such instances. When you find yourself that things are not moving on well, you can also go for group therapy, where people who are taking care of these people also go seek for help, so that they get to understand that whatever is happening to me, I'm not mad. Whatever is happening within my mind is really natural, because I'm taking care of someone else who I'm trying to understand at one point, and I'm also trying to figure out what is happening to me. So getting support on your end is also good, because you will get better coping skills. You will also be in position to understand how to take care of this person, because at the end of the day, you can also affect the person you're taking care of. Therefore, we are supposed to work hand in hand to support you, as you're also supporting the person you're taking care of, that person with mental illnesses. With that being said, we have come to the end of our episode 1. And for more of these conversations, we shall have guests coming in to dive into these topics that we have said about mental illnesses, the variety of them. We are going to have survivors who are going to talk about what is really, when we say depression, what exactly is it? Living it, not just saying it. We are also going to talk with the people who treat these illnesses, so that they can give a deeper conversation about this. All I say is stick around and get to hear from our next episodes, because it's all mental.